Welcome to Christmas in Concord. I'm your host, Dick Patten. It's a pleasure to welcome you back as we count the days down to Santa arrives, and with me is one of his jolly old elves, Chief Brad, here today, and Osgood there, who is his chief elf around here now until after Christmas Day. Christmas morning's gone by, I guess, but because actually, I guess the police, they don't do the appearing of Santa in the sky like the fire department, and I used to do it county when I was dispatching over at county, but we used to do it like they did. But
yeah, that's that. I don't know where that stands. I mean, I remember as a young patrol officer, our dispatchers used to do that, but that was, the early 1990s. Maybe it's a lost tradition.
well, when I started dispatching in '74, of course, I had the lovely Christmas present from Santa, having to work the 4 to 12 shift on Christmas Eve and Christmas night, because that's what the newbies get, And I knew that anyway, so for me, Christmas Eve is more special than Christmas night. But I had the day off, which was good. But anyway, we used to hear the fire department do their thing at 7 o'clock. And that was it. He was seen in Littleton area or whatever. And, it's amazing how, and then of course, we started doing it the next year. And I carried it twice more after 8 o'clock, and I did. The final one was at 9 o'clock, because at 9 o'clock he was in the Concord area then. At 8 o'clock he was in Laconia. But see, most of them stopped at Littleton or Grafton County area. That's Grafton started it off. But I don't know who does it now, but anyway, I always just say the kids are listening to it, and they used to. We had kids that would listen to it, but it doesn't seem possible that Christmas is finally here, and I just can't believe that. To me, it's gone fast from the day of the parade, Saturday before Thanksgiving, to now. It's like, where did time go? But back then we thought, gee, we got a whole month and a whatever, because Thanksgiving was early this year. And it'll be early again next year, too, because it'll be on the 23rd. No, wait a minute now. 22nd next year, and the tree lighting would be the 23rd, and the parade would be the 17th next year.
Right.
And then the year after, 2019, it all goes back to the end of the month. So, but this year we really lucked out with the weather and everything.
Yeah, it's been actually a very, very quick fall. I mean, we were not too long ago talking about Halloween.
I know.
And then
we
were shortly after that we were talking about Thanksgiving traditions, football games, and Christmas parade, and here we are talking about Santa Claus coming to town in just a few days, and it has been fast.
I haven't seen as many. Well, they say they're on all the Christmas cartoons that we used to see when I was a young kid. Well, not a young kid, but when I was 11, 12 years old, because at that point it was 65 when Rudolph first made his appearance on TV. Then right after that came Santa Claus Coming to Town, and then after that came a couple of years later, The Year Without a Santa Claus. That team of Rankin Bass there, they've really made a lot of those cartoon shows.
Yeah, I haven't seen them on, and usually they're on shortly after Thanksgiving.
Rudolph was.
Yeah.
Rudolph was on like the Monday after Thanksgiving, and so wasn't. They said Santa Claus was too. I didn't see it. Now on what they call Freeform now, which used to be ABC Family Channel, they've had non-stop Elf, which after a while you get. I get sick of it. I got sick of that one. It was funny, but I can only take what's his face there, the elf there.
Will Ferrell.
Yes, I can only take him in small bunches. And James Caan was the other one. The other actor, wasn't it James
Yes,
Caan? Yeah.
I believe so.
And he was kind of obnoxious, but that was the character. But anyway, and then I guess the other, and of course Polar Express has been on now quite a bit, which I didn't see it at first, but I've been picking it up in spots. But you know, it just doesn't seem possible that it's here. And you know, as I've said to you before, Christmas Eve, I mean, when I was a kid, when we lived at home before I ever got married, it was always an evening that we spent with the family at home. We had people that would come to our house. It was family members who would bring their presents over and put them at the tree because my aunt and uncle, who lived on Heights Road, and my cousin still lives in that house, they always did all their holidays with us because when my grandmother and grandfather were alive, they always did it together. But some, as I've told you before, was that they said that Christmas Eve was the biggest night for drinking alcohol, and more arrests were made on that night than New Year's Eve. And I thought, I don't understand that. But they claimed New Year's Eve, you get to one place, you stay there. And I would have guessed it was the other way around. But anyhow, so...
You know, one of the things we talked about, I think, before too, is that, you know, from a police department perspective, I agree that Christmas Eve tends to be a fairly busy night for us. But one of the things that I had mentioned before is that Saturday the 23rd is likely to be more of a party or social gathering with, you know, neighbors and friends and that sort. So I'm anticipating a very busy evening on Saturday and not so much on Sunday the 24th. Actually.
Yeah, it could be, because as crazy as it may sound, but the Advent season ends on Sunday afternoon, and the churches, especially the Catholic churches, are all busy getting decorated inside for Christmas Eve masses and, you know, where it's going, because Saturday at 4:30 is the fourth Sunday of Advent, along with Sunday morning, and in the afternoon they start decorating for the church for Christmas Eve. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course then it's a countdown till Lent or Ash Wednesday in February, because Easter's early this year, which is crazy. But I think it's the first day of April 2nd, I think, because the Grange is planning about the Easter egg hunt this year. And I said, well, just remember that April 1st is on Saturday, which is when we would do the Easter egg hunt. You could have a foot of snow over there at Heights Park, or you'd have bare ground and mud. It's going to be hard to say. Well, last year it was a little bit later, so it was good weather. But I don't know about this next year. And then there's been a call for us to maybe expand it, or to bring back the flashlight hunt that the kids used to have up to White's Park. But I don't think we're ready for that yet. If somebody wants to do it, wonderful. But I don't know if the Grange is ready to take that on yet. He said Heights Park anyway, because we don't have the manpower to go down to start spreading across the city. If somebody else wants to do it, let them do it. But right now, we want to get this one under control first, and fix it up and try to improve it from last year after being out of commission for about 4 years, which we didn't know. But no, the office, now they get, I shouldn't say this because they'll get you in trouble maybe, but do the offices tend to kind of, I won't say look the other way, rather than not the other way on Christmas Eve? I mean, it'd be kind of nice not give a ticket out or something if they, see a speeder or somebody running a red light or whatever.
Well, let me answer it this way. I don't think that police officers do their job.
Yeah.
Regardless of the day of the week or the hour of the day, they do their job. and they have a job to do, and that's what they do.
Scrooge. Well, I mean, no, like,
That was a good answer.
Well, yes, it is, but I'm just saying something serious, yes. I like on a domestic disturbance or a fight in progress or something like that, yes, I can see that. But I'm just wondering if somebody runs a red light or something like that, speeding up around. I mean, I just wondered if they would kind of like be a verbal warning rather than, because I know you can't say it on TV, but.
Well, I would probably, if I looked at 365 days a year and I looked at a 24-hour period on each day and counted how many traffic citations were issued, I would suggest that there are days where they're very low, and there are days where they're very high.
Yeah.
And, you know, probably on Christmas, it's probably very low.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So.
Well, probably too, the traffic's not, I mean, up until probably 6 o'clock at night when the stores actually close, it's probably busy traffic-wise out there, but once those stores close on Christmas Eve, that's when probably things tend to quiet down, but.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know, you know. The other day, I'm trying to remember now what I saw, and I said, when I see you again, I've got to mention something to you, because it's becoming an ongoing problem downtown. And I know I've mentioned to you in the past about vehicles going up these one-way streets. The street, School Street, from Green to North State is one way going up, westbound.
Mm-hmm.
But there are cars more and more going down, and they're doing it also, they're going down School Street onto North Main as well, I've noticed, and there are cars going up Lawrence Street from North Main to North State. And I said, what the heck is the matter with these guys? Can't they see the cars all facing them? Don't they know enough to know that this is a one-way street? Or do they think everybody has decided to park the way they feel like parking?
Yeah. So, I mean, Green and School Street, that section that's one way, there are 4 signs posted there that say do not enter.
Yeah.
And we also see it, I just look out my window and I see it on Capitol Street between Green and North State Street. They're going the wrong way.
Yep, that's another one.
So, you know, when you watch them, they get about halfway down the road before they realize, a lot of them, they realize that they're going the wrong way, and so they try to make the adjustment. But yeah, we keep an eye on that. It happens far too often, but we try to keep an eye on that.
I know where it was. I know where it was now. I was at the State House when we had a general session on December 3rd or November 30th. It was right around those one of those days. That Thursday when we voted on the new speaker. When I came out at noontime and we had a break, there was a car going down Park Street headed toward Main Street. And I screamed at them. I said, don't you realize this is a one-way or something? And they kept right on going. They didn't stop for nobody. And I thought, you dopes, what do you think we are? We don't know how to park here in New Hampshire or what? You know, it's like, God, if somebody had gotten hit, you know, well, who was going to be the fault? Well, he was going, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right.
No, we see a lot of it, especially on those streets. I don't see it too much on Park Street, but I see it on Capitol Street and certainly School Street quite a bit.
Now, for years, at the intersection of North Main turning onto Pleasant going west, you could never do a stop on red, right turn on red. Now they're doing it.
Yeah, they've eliminated that traffic control device.
Well, they have.
Yes.
So you can do right turn on red.
You can do right turn on red there. When they did the Main Street redesign, that whole intersection is, you know, the timing of the lights, the way the pedestrian walk signals are working. It took a lot of motorists and pedestrians to get used to it.
Yeah.
But now it actually flows fairly nicely that I've seen. So it was a little confusing when they only did the North Main Street construction and they were working on the South Main part. But once they tied the two construction projects together and opened it all up, it actually makes a little bit more sense now.
Now the flashing red, as you're coming up South Main to North Main, that intersection of Pleasant is a flashing red. It doesn't go to green. We can still take a left on on Pleasant Street.
So you're on South Main?
We're on South Main at that intersection of Pleasant Street. So we're in that lane where, you know, it used to be a green arrow going left or a red, just a green light. Now it's a flashing yellow all the time.
I'll have to check that. But you can take a left on a flashing yellow. So that should be fine.
I'm surprised. I just think it's confusing. I really do. I think it's confusing. Because, you know, I mean, usually when you see a yellow light, you think it's going to turn red, and you tend to stop. But the cars are going right through. I said, gee, how come? I don't know. I was a little surprised at that, but no, I was surprised. I don't know. And I know we're at the Capitol Center for the. Now here's another one for you. Went to the show Sunday afternoon at the Capitol Center for the Arts. Now you've got the handicapped spaces there, but then you've got, and this also happens a lot in the shopping centers. You've got the spaces that are nothing but lines, and they're not supposed to park in those spots. But people will argue with you that, oh no, that's handicap parking. No, it's not. You have your handicapped space where that usually there's a sign there, but then you've got the stripes on the side. I said, no, that is not a parking space. But they'll argue up and down with you that, oh yes it is. I said, well, that's when you wish you had somebody there, give them a ticket. But that's not a parking space.
No.
But they think it is, and they'll argue with you about it.
If they're boxed out, then it's not a legal parking space.
No, it's just amazing from when I took driver education. Yes, I know laws have changed in some cases, but boy, some of the stuff that's going on, it's like, didn't you take driver ed or what? You know?
Yeah.
I still wonder sometimes if it wouldn't be advantageous to have a refresher course for driver ed again. You know? I mean, you figure I took it in 1969. Yeah, it wasn't 70, it was 69. Because it was the day of Eisenhower's funeral. It was supposed to be that day, but then they declared a day of mourning, a national mourning, and everything was called off. So I had to go the next day, which was April Fool's Day. And, you know, I still can remember that going off there, and I don't know, I thought I did I got it, my license there, but it was different. But people nowadays, it's just so different. You know, I just think a good refresher. I know there's a bill in there now to about let them do driver ed. It was last year too, online, and we voted against it. I don't agree with it, and the Republicans were upset because I said, well, you figure one thing. A lot of schools up north don't have computers up there, or they don't have the internet up there like down south there would be a central, and. I just don't think it's a good idea. I think they need to have classroom time.
Yeah, I think that you have to have some degree of classroom time. Really, the most important piece in my mind with the driver's education is field experience. You know, the hours, getting those hours. You know, having taught, you know, 2 teenagers to drive myself. Yeah, it's pretty scary when they first get behind the wheel at 15 and a half. And just going around the neighborhood. Yeah, you worry about people's mailboxes at that point. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I can tell you. What are you laughing at over there? Yeah, I'm sure. I took my niece out once. She was 15 and a half. She was down here from Woodsville, North April. And so she hadn't been out driving, begged me to take. I said, well, about your father, let him take you out. No. I said, all right. So, got behind the wheel of my car, and she was almost 16. So she's sitting there, and she's busy with this. What are you doing? Well, I want to see how the radio. I said, yeah, and what else? Well, I was going to make sure the mirror. I said, and you got the right lipstick on? Is that what you're checking? No, those aren't the things you check when you first get in the car. Yes, you do check your mirrors, make sure they're adjustable, you can see out of them, but you don't check the radio volume to see if it's loud enough. And I said, oh heavens, I'm glad I'm just your uncle. But, you know, but then when I was a driving licensing officer for a few years, and one girl I took out in Epping, first thing we did was she got in a head-on accident. And we're right outside the motor vehicle office too in Epping. It's like, oh my. She wouldn't answer me, and I said, you all right? I said, are you okay? My car. I said, well, never mind your car, are you okay? You know, but I don't know. It's stories you can think about, but I know myself, as I've said many times, when I went out driving with my teacher there, and I went around that corner from Bridge Street, I call it Bridge Street on to exit 14, southbound 93 there. And I thought I was at a slow pace, but he jammed that brake on his side. And what'd I do? Right? I wasn't going fast. I'm a low Pepe, you know. But I guess I was too fast for him, I guess. But
well, the other thing with kids learning how to drive, you know, they need to have the experience, that field experience, but they also need to, if you live in a rural area, like you mentioned, like Woodsville and Haverhill, it's important that especially if they're going to travel any distance, is to get experience in the city as well. I mean, you know, Concord, if you call it a city, it's different driving. You know, on North Main Street than it is on Bog Road.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so I think that, you know, as parents we have to teach our children all sorts of those different skills.
Well, it's even Manchester. I hate driving in Manchester. There's a lot of one-way streets there. You've got to be careful of.
Yeah.
Same with Nashville. I mean, even Portsmouth's changed a lot from what it used to be. I know myself, I can't wait to give up my license. My day, I just don't like driving anymore. I really don't. Because the cars nowadays, they just don't, I mean, it's just, they're too busy trying to race each other or do something stupid, and it's like, I just can't wait, really. I thought I'd say that, but I would just as soon let somebody else do the driving.
Yeah, I like driving still.
Well, yeah. Well, you would anyway, I'm sure. You've been, what, how many years you've been a police officer?
Almost 29.
Wow.
So.
When is 30 next year?
Well, it was be 29
Wow.
in a couple of months, but it's different driving when you're just driving your own personal car versus driving with a black and white with blue lights on the top.
Why in the world? Why in the world have pretty much all the cruisers in the state now? Is that the general color now, black and white?
Yes.
Why?
I think it's more of a traditional thing. It's like a fire engine is red, right? It's a traditional thing. And I think you're seeing more and more police departments reverting back to traditional police, such as the black and white.
See, all I can remember, when I was a kid, all the cruisers were blue. That was the color the Concord police cars were all blue.
Blue, and then they transferred to a blue and a gray, and then we've switched over to the black and white, and there'll be black and white cruisers, you know, as long as I'm here. I don't intend to change them.
All I think is black and white cruisers. I think of a taxi cab, because we used to have black and white taxi cabs in Concord. We had checker.
Yeah.
That was black and white checker cab, or the black cab with the white top on there. That was another cab company in Concord.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, as far as the Concord Police, we're gonna have the black and white cruisers. I don't anticipate we'll ever change our uniform. We've gone from light blue shirts to
yes, I remember that.
gray pants and a navy shirt now to the blue over blue, and I find that this uniform that I'm wearing today is traditional, for the police, and so I intend to keep it that way.
Well, that doesn't bother me too much. It's just the black, I think. I think I just associate black with a funeral home, and that's just what kind of bothers me. But no, I was just surprised. I mean, yeah, right, with the fire department, because, well, now there again, when growing up, it was all white fire trucks in Concord, except for they had one ladder truck that was ladder 1 that was red. And then after a while, they sold that to the town of Hopkinton, and they ran it out there for quite a few years. And then Pennacook's trucks were red up there. They had the red ones up there. They were the older red ones. I remember engines 3, ladder 3, and tank 3 up there. And then they all changed over. But the ones, when they went to yellow, that was a disgusting color. Now, I don't know whoever thought that one up, but... And now I notice the funeral homes have this purple light on the top of their cars. When did that start in? Is that something else? I mean, I know the law is you're supposed to stop for a funeral procession. Now, recently, there's another one here. Someone said they'd never heard such a thing. I said, that's been in their law since way back, as far as I know, way back in the 60s. That when you saw a funeral procession, you stopped. You didn't break in.
No, that's common courtesy.
And
not only is it the law, but it's common courtesy.
And when they went through the red light, they went through. They didn't stop, But I've heard people banging on horns and telling people, like, no, a funeral procession is supposed to go through.
Right.
So, well, can't believe it's come down to the last for this year anyway.
Probably, yeah.
To get you back on next year after January. And I said the fire chief, I said, I got him on. I said, Brad there, about time, get you back on. He said, yeah, we'll have to do that. Yeah, okay. Hopefully you will, because it's nice to get the departments in here to talk about what's going on in the city.
Sure. Because
you'll be getting started on budgets after first of the year, get ready for them, even though when you start, in April or something? You have budget?
Well, we submit our budgets to the city manager by the end of February.
Yeah.
And, he submits them to the council, I think by May 15th.
Well, all I can say is I hope that you have the merriest of Christmases, you and your family, and please wish all the officers the same way, same thing, the dispatches. And I asked the cemetery department today if they would please shovel that wreath out, because I did put a wreath, as you know, I put a wreath in front of the police memorial up there at Blossom Hill, along with the fire department, but the snow is caked in. I didn't have a shovel in my car today. I will tomorrow. I'll go up and see if they've done that. I left a message on Jill's machine that please, if they would unshovel that wreath up there so that it could be seen. But it is up there. So.
Well, we appreciate you doing that, Dick.
Well, hey, appreciate what the guys and gals have done for me for all these years. And we'll be getting ready for the 47th Annual Recognition Awards in April, so.
Great.
Yep. Well, with that in mind, Merry Christmas again, Brad, and we wish you all a very happy holiday, and many thanks to Ian as he gets ready to jet off to Japan tomorrow, and we hope he has nothing but great times over there in Tokyo, and we'll see him in a few weeks when he comes back. So around town we'll be taking a short vacation, and so everyone have a great holiday time coming up. Be sure to turn your TV sets to the Outback Bowl on New Year's Day, and wish Michigan all success. So I'm Dick Patten, your host, and we'll see you all in 2018.